body express genes. Only from Sir Giovanni.
What's this?
Smell terrific. Ciara?
Ciara.
Remember when we first met?
Come on in. Plenty of room.
Looks like it's never going to stop.
I sure hope not.
Ciara, the thoroughly female fragrance. What will it remind you of?
What will it remind me of?
From Ultima 2 with any Ciara or Ultima 2 purchase.
Stay tuned.
Marshall Fields.
Frosted window panes, candles gleaming inside, painted candy canes on the tree. Santa's on his way, he's filled his sleigh with things, things for you and for me. It's that time of year when the world falls in love. Every song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas.
I was just watching a Ciara commercial. Ciara was created by Revlon back in the 1970s, 1973 to be exact. And I was asked by one of my followers to do a review of Ciara. So I thought, well, it's so inexpensive. I just go ahead and get a bottle. So here you see the bottle of Ciara. And of course, I don't know when this was made, but it's very dark, liquid. And there's no batch code on the bottom, so who knows? But it says on here, what does it say? It's hard to read in this light. It says 80 strength. Oh, that's interesting because it's concentrated cologne spray. So in my research on Ciara, I discovered that in 1973 when it came out, it was released in 3 different strengths, and that would be the 100%, 80% strength, 100% strength, and 200% strength. Now, who knows what that means? I've never heard of that before. But anyway, it is an Oriental. And as I said, it was released in 1973. It is balsamic, woody, sweet, smoky, and leathery. I'm going to spray it here on a little card of mine, one of my business cards, Lanier Smith, and we'll see. Now look on the back. It definitely, you wouldn't want to spray this on if you're wearing anything that is not black. So, it definitely has a very vintage aspect to it. So I think that this is an older, it's been around for a while. This bottle is not newly minted. And I get that kind of bruised, super sweet, almost bubblegummy opening in it. It's interesting. Now, some reviewers have said that it's very unisex, that they could see why men were attracted to wearing this fragrance. And I gotta tell you, I'm not one of them. It's way too sweet for me. It's very strong. I did wear it for a little while, a couple of weeks ago when it first came, and the dry down was a little bit better than the opening. The opening is just too sweet. So what are the notes involved? Starting with the top is neroli, lime, lemon, and raspberry. In the middle you have jasmine, ylang ylang, Brazilian rosewood, palmarosa, which is a kind of green, very green fragrance or note, and iris. Then in the bottom you have leather and a Papanax, and vanilla, musk, a big waft of incense is in there, and cedar. Now, as I said, the opening is just too sweet, but already it's only been a few minutes, and what is happening is what is happening is the Apophanax and the incense are really rising, almost as if there was a temple supply shop somewhere in an ancient city, and where they stored all of their incense and their sacred woods, and it caught on fire, and that is just really billowing up, huge. It's an interesting fragrance. It's not something I would wear, but I can certainly understand its appeal to some people. And there's iris too. That iris, the iris almost saves it as it develops here in the beginning of the middle. I'm gonna shut this off for a minute and let it put some on my skin. See what happens. So there we go, nice and orange. So I'll be back in a little bit. Oh no, on my skin, it's really bad. Well, stay tuned. The face behind Ciara was the incredible supermodel, American supermodel of the 70s and early 80s, whose name is Lauren Hutton. And she's a very interesting woman, very funny, very witty, very smart, and is also an actress, probably most famous for, I would say, American Gigolo with Richard Gere. And that's quite a film. Anyway, it's about an hour later, and I have to say that horrible, shocking opening definitely went away. And now I'm left with this incense bomb. It really is a very intense incense, intoxicating, but maybe not in a good way, kind of a fragrance. It's kind of like you smell it and go, oh, I don't know, and then you have to smell it again. It's kind of fighting with me, trying to seduce me, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to win. But it's definitely interesting, and it certainly has been a fun experiment to revisit this fragrance, which came out in my 20s, when I was in my 20s, and a lot of women I knew at the time wore it. And I don't think it really impressed me one way or the other in those days, because I really don't remember it. But I do remember the ad campaign, and I certainly do remember the beautiful Lauren Hutton, who was the face for the fragrance. So whether it's Ciara or Chanel or whatever, wear what you love and not what they say you should like. This is Lander Smith, and I'll talk to you soon.